Strike action is holding back growth. It's also leading to cancelled operations and school closures. When will you resolve these disputes?
We want to resolve the public sector strikes as quickly as we can. We're prepared to be completely reasonable. We will talk about anything except measures that will entrench high inflation.
This is now getting ridiculous. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt telling viewers today unchallenged that our nurses, our doctors, our teachers can't be allowed inflation-busting pay rises because, in his words,
will entrench high inflation.
In other words, the Chancellor is saying the public sector workers who kept this country going during the pandemic, who have already suffered more than a decade of crappy real terms pay cuts, should accept yet another crappy real terms pay cut so the government can bring down inflation. The claim is just complete bollocks. It's been debunked over and over again by economists, but even the Prime Minister can't stop himself running around the country repeating it.
Look, the most important thing we can do to help people is to control inflation. We've got to reduce inflation. That's what's making life difficult for nurses and for everyone else in the country. And a big part of how we are going to grip and reduce inflation is by having restraint when it comes to pay settlements.
How many times do I have to point this out? If a private sector company increases its wages, yes, that goes directly into the cost of making that product or service, and that might end up increasing the price. But that's not the case with public sector workers such as healthcare and education, which are free at the point of use. That means consumers do not pay for them directly, so they don't affect the inflation statistics. The Prime Minister knows that, and so does the Chancellor, shamelessly running about the country repeating it. The claim has been completely rubbished by most economists who agree it's only private sector wage increases that have an impact on inflation. And remember, the public sector workforce makes up only about 17% of the total workforce, so it has much less of an impact on the economy than the private sector. So when the government cites this as a reason for not giving our public sector workers the fair pay rise we all know they deserve,
we will talk about anything except measures that will entrench high inflation.
Please remember they are again talking complete bollocks. Increasing public sector wages will not push up inflation in any significant way, and most economists agree, and the government knows it. Its refusal to give our teachers, our nurses, our doctors what they are worth is just one of its political choices. And now it's shamelessly trying to con the public with a justification for it, which has been rubbished by most economists.